Good merry morning, everyone. I'm heading off to visit my grandpa again, so car drive time. Yay! So I've been having an interesting journey both this morning and this past couple of weeks. I was ridiculously sick last week, which is part of the reason why I skipped the recordings. I just had no voice and probably lots to say, but nothing. And I was partway through the drive and I'm like, okay, I know I need to record something. And I've been meandering through my brain and going, okay, first of all, my voice doesn't feel like talking because I don't feel inspired. And that's when it tickled me, and I realized part of what's going on right now with a lot of people, and myself included, is a little bit of a lack of inspiration, or an overflooding of inspiration where you shut yourself down because you're like, there's so much I could say and do, now I'm overwhelmed and I don't know where to start. And I confess I have those moments quite often in my life too. There's just so many soapbox issues, there's so many things that rattle in here that I know need to get out and be shared, or just need to get the fuck out. And then there are moments of just complete lack of inspiration. Now, I wanted to talk a little bit. There's moments of lack of inspiration where I just don't feel inclined of anything and I just kind of sit there blankly. And then there are moments where I know I'm just sitting and being present. And those are two different things energetically for myself. The lack of inspiration for me is, how to put it in words? Those moments when my voice closes and I don't feel like sharing anything. And I kind of look at the world blankly. It's not a depression moment. I know that some people, sometimes that's what depression is a complete lack of inspiration to create. And that's a really scary, when you hit that point, that's really scary because those are really hard things to get out of, and that's a journey unto itself. But for me, when I hit those sort of blank moments, those are the times when I have to really sort of pull myself together and start to really look at what's going on. And I noticed that I completed something that was very exciting, and I'm very proud of myself. I did my first women's group, which was exhilarating and awesome, and I felt sort of fulfilled and excited, and I'll use the word exhilarated again because I stuck to my guns and I did something and I shared, and I watched a group of women come together and start to blossom and collect, and then the feedback that I got was amazing and very exciting for me, and I'm very excited to do this again. And then the next couple of days it just sort of dwindled out, and I noticed that what I did is I totally lost my momentum with the inspiration, which was totally my fault because I got stuck back into the day-to-day routine shit, and I forgot to grab a hold of what was inspiring me about this and to feed onto that. And I think that that's something we all are guilty of doing, is we do this whoa moment and we get this complete high, and instead of using that energy to push us forward, we feed off of it for a while until it's gone, and then we sink. So this is something I'm going to have to challenge myself with, and I encourage everybody else or anyone who watches this is finding that inspiration in those daily moments and sharing that. I have a very difficult time sharing myself and my experiences with other people. I have a lot of wisdom, but actually sharing myself with other people is very difficult. And that was made very apparent by a beautiful woman at the Circle who does in my perspective, a very similar thing. We have a lot of wisdom and a lot of heart and a lot of joy, but there's a shield we put up when we can't share ourselves. We can connect and we can make other people feel connected, but as soon as we go to connect in, there's a shield that goes up and we stop. And what I've noticed with myself is it's because of this inspiration and this joy and this creativity that I have been denying myself. And it goes back to the singing and the art and the music. And then another young lady that I spoke to yesterday inspired me at the moment, because she's having, along with a lot of things, and myself and my husband and all of this wonderful thing, is this lack of self-esteem. And that really comes from a lack of inspiration and creativity that we give ourselves time for. So how do we do it? How do I get inspired again? For me, I got to phone a girlfriend and go do something unexpected and new. And because I'm not a good person with routine, I'm not. And so when I find that I start to get into a routine, I drudge myself down. Some people are routine people, and I love it, and that's great, and I respect and I honor you, and awesome. For me, I find that when I start to get into a routine, I suck the life out of myself, and then I sort of somehow no longer create space to be inspired or creative, and what I'm lacking for myself is an adventure. So if you're finding this lack of inspiration and this lack of joy, then what I encourage others to do is find something ridiculous to do today. And what I mean by ridiculous is just something that kind of gets those lower chakras kind of juicy again. Whether it's, I'm going to remove coloring books, because coloring books have too many rules again. Unless you're going to color, nope, just don't color. You need a blank page. I know I need a blank page, because it goes back to seeing that inspiration of what comes out of me or what I can co-create, and the excitement of going, I don't know what could fucking happen here. And this is what I just realized this morning I'm missing. When I drive into that lack of inspiration is because I've lost the I don't know what could happen, because I've fallen into a routine, and the routine has not given me space to experiment with life. And it's through that experimentation that I find the inspiration and the joy to go and create. Part of the reason I found my women's circle so exciting is because I had no fucking idea what was going to happen. That excites me. That thrills me. All I knew is that I had to be of service, and there were people who needed me, and woohoo! Exciting for me. And that's what really gets my juices going, is knowing that I'm in service and helping someone through whatever process they need at whatever moment. But routines sucks the life out of me. So I have got to go find the space to go shake it up. And whether that's giving myself 10 minutes, 15 minutes, an hour, or just a full day where I just kind of wander aimlessly and see what gets thrown at me, those are my favorite days, when I just I don't know what's gonna happen. And that's exciting, and that's where we want to go, and that's where our inspiration comes from, is there's moments where the slate is blank. As long as you can let yourself get through the fear of a blank slate, or a blank page, or a blank sheet of music, whatever, and just kind of go, I don't know what's going to happen. Let's find out. This is fun. And just speaking that way makes me feel light again, because I didn't know what I was going to talk about in this video, so I'm like, okay, this is my inspiration moment. I'm going to share the fact that I am feeling so uninspired right now that I don't feel like talking. But I know that I have to push my boundary and do this, because that's what's going to get me over this sort of, for lack of better words, kind of glum, non-inclusive part in my life. And I've been feeling that way the couple of days, and disconnected from people and from myself. And it was this lack of inspiration. So thanks for hearing this and helping me process the fact that I have just been feeling completely disconnected after such a huge connect, and then not allowing that to sink deeper when I should have caught my wave, sunk it in, and kept the inspiration going by doing inspiring things every day. So, lesson learned. Yay, me. But I want to share how to get through it for you, is to find these moments of scare the shit out of myself and do something unexpected will help us build confidence in being okay with whatever the fuck happens. I call it tripping the void, those moments where we can touch ourselves so deeply that we don't care what happens, because I know that I'm so safe and so secure, and I'm in my co-creative, co-collective moments of, what could happen? And for me, this video is about tripping the void again for myself, because that lack of inspiration and creativity is so rampant in both myself and everybody I know that we get scared when we start to go create something new, because we're so out of practice of creating something. So our self-esteem plummets, and our lack of perceived control plummets, and then we stagnate and get overwhelmed, and then we fall back into our routine that is fine because it's seemingly safe, this ridiculous routine that we've created. And then we have no leeway for inspiration and creation. And let's be honest, that's really what we're here to do, is to create and inspire ourselves and others. So my job today, I've succeeded at inspiring myself and pulling myself out of my little weird rut that I dropped myself into, and shared with you something I'm not very comfortable doing, is sharing my actual self. And, being honest that I was feeling a real lack of inspiration and kind of humdrum and disconnected, especially from my partner. And honestly not really wanting to get back connected with anyone, which is weird. So thanks for a drive, and thanks for getting out of my space and out of my routine. I could catch a moment of perspective and go, what was missing was inspiration, and what was missing was sharing. So, ta-da! So if you're feeling trapped or stuck or glum or non-inclusive in your life, take the time to remove yourself from the routine that you've created. Catch that breath. I mean, that's really what meditation is about, is removing yourself from yourself and your situation so that you can actually find yourself. So I hope that helps. And so here's my steps for lack of inspiration, because I had a moment that remove yourself, however that is, whether it's a writing, a drawing, a doodle, and give yourself the space of 5, 10, 15, this video is 15 minutes by the time I'm done, to really sort of not be present in the routine, but be present with yourself, and have a good exploration with yourself as to why you are where you are. And if you don't know, then just, that's okay. Go find something inspiring so you can switch the gear. Because we get stuck in this click, 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 and the world loves us in a click, 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 because it means that it means that you're doing what it wants to do, not what you want to do. And when you stop the click and you go, whoomph, oh, I'm not a gear, I'm a human being. I'm going to go be inspired as a human being, and I'm going to go create. Then we can step out and go, all right, I need a spa day. I need a good friend. I need a cup of tea. I need to talk and share where I am at this moment so that I can inspire myself and others to do the same. And then we get back to connection, and then we get back to being co-creative. And it's funny how just these little moments are all we need to reset and remove ourselves from the entrapment that we've created together. So I hope that helps. I hope I didn't ramble too much for you, or at least if I entertained you, fabulous. That's just as wonderful and awesome and hopefully inspiring as, you know, giving you a life lesson, because there's no such thing as a life lesson. Life is life, and let's just get on with it and go live it and go express it and go be creative and go be inspired by it and see what else we inspire by being inspired in it. So thank you very much. I will talk to you soon. So thanks for inspiring me, and thank you for giving me the space to breathe and talk and natter. And I'm going to go and catch myself more often from these moments and reach out and be inspired by myself and by others, and by the fact that we live in the most amazing time on this planet where I can have these moments of inspiration, and I can find breathing room and safety in the fact that I can find myself through these moments. So awesome. Both hands open, everyone.